who was raised in the backwoods, far from people, so that the people wouldn't rise up and put him back on the throne. This is very important. But Crimea is such a little navel, as Papanov said in the film In One. It holds great significance for humanity, for the whole earth. It is an island that is a magical island. It is the place where that very kingdom is hidden, the one Odysseus sought. And now I will tell you the story of my family line. On my father's side, my family traces its roots back to Crimea. In Crimea, there lived a Khan who, of course, did not submit to any Soviet authority, let alone the Rothschilds' power, which came much later. And then, when the Great War began, and they started losing the war, then Crimea was captured. Crimea was not called Crimea. It was a different land with a different name. Kara. The Black Sea is called Kara Sea because it is the Sea of Kara. The island belonged to Kara, Crimea Kara. Those who came to Crimea, there were many peoples living in Crimea. At that time, Crimea was densely populated. The caves beneath Crimea were also a treasure belonging to those who ruled Crimea. And when the beautiful and historically significant Crimea passed into the hands of various other people, let's say, they were unequivocally called ruthless bandits. Then when it tragically fell into the clutches of these notorious bandits, the young little boy, the cherished heir, who is always a profoundly very important and central personage within the family unit, the rightful heir of the entire clan. The esteemed heir of the clan was indeed Karasuba Ogli, a figure of considerable importance. And this boy, Karasuba Ogli, the son of Tsar Kara, was taken captive together with his mother and taken far away to distant lands, truly beyond the familiar borders of Chernigov, a place now left behind, to the city of Baturin, and settled separately in a village. I don't know what the village was called back then, but now it is called the village of Akyushi. Nearby is the village of Karatsubino. This is because the family has grown. This all happened then. Poltava, then. Today it's all different. This is Chernihiv region, the city of Baturin. And then there was Poltava, at the border to Poland there. They took us there, towards Poland. They hid it at the border, in the border zone. The boy was given a good education. Karapodogli received a good education. He received higher military education. Of course, the invader must subjugate the child's consciousness and force him to work for himself and serve himself. That's understandable. But this is like the story of the conqueror of all wars. He became a general, this 8-year-old boy. After that, he was blessed with children. He had 4 wonderful sons. Daughters, for some reason, are not mentioned. But he did have 4 sons. And from these 4 families, or rather 4 sons, the Karasuba clan began. Karasuba. The Karasuba clan started from there. All Karasubas and Karasupas are all people of the same clan. The genetics are the same. I understand genetics well. I understand kinship and bastardy blood. That's why I can recognize my own. Genetically, when someone tells me that he is a Karatsuba, I look at the skull first of all. And then it becomes clear whether you are a Karatsuba or not. As for this boy, he had 4 sons who gave rise to 4 great branches that spread throughout the world, the Karatsubas. So all my relatives with the surname Karatsuba are truly my relatives. Everyone with the surname Sitburkan are relatives on my mother's side. But you have to understand that people of noble blood do not marry outsiders. They must choose a bride or groom from a worthy lineage. Just like Fatima Sultan Sitovna married Arslan the Tsar, the son of Genghis Khan. This is Fatima Sultan Sitovna, the daughter of the Prophet, who was also related to Genghis Khan because there were numerous children, several relatives, and also clans would often coalesce in this way to create a truly large extended family at the very top. So the Karatsubas multiplied. Crimea passed into other hands. Crimea was given a different history. Not the history that actually was, but Crimea did have its own history. Oh, how ancient it is, and how many legends, how many secrets, how many artifacts that all those bandits were chasing after. By the way, Monaco was also taken over by bandits at the very same time. So the Prince of Monaco is one of those who came to power today, while the old ones were killed off. And the same thing happened in Crimea. All my relatives were killed. They left only one boy, a little one, Karasuba Agli, who was raised in the backwoods, far away from people, so that no one would rise up and put him back on the throne. This is very important. But Crimea is such a little navel, as Papanov said in the film In One, which holds great significance for humanity, for the whole earth. It is an island it is a magical island. That very kingdom is hidden there, the one where Odysseus went. Do you understand why? Odysseus. Later, after Odysseus, there was an order created, Odessa. Well, mostly by the Germans, of course. And the city of Odessa was founded. So Odysseus sailed precisely to the queen. Read about Odysseus. It's about Crimea. Everything that's written about Crimea. And about the queen Circe and about how she turned his friends into pigs. And today, someone eats pork and becomes as dumb in the head as a pig, right? Well, that's what genetics says. Friends, study it. If someone is offended, study it. I told you about Crimea. This is my homeland in part. That is the Kasimov Kingdom, the Moscow Kremlin, Crimea, and the Siberian Khanate. It's all one family. Of which I am a descendant. I am Tanya Karatsuba. These are Crimea, Kara, Suva. Sid Burhan is Genghis Khan. This is the name of Fatima Sultan Sitovna because Siyit is passed down through the line of the Prophet Muhammad, the Siyit lineage. It belongs only to the daughters of Muhammad, to no one else. And through her line, we received the title of Siyit. I am Tanya Karatsuba, Sid Burhan, December 6, 2025. This is my story, and I am leaving it to my children so that they know